send the.
Yep. I'm going to send this to you by WeTransfer.
Okay. Once you send the video link, I'll download and upload on my YouTube channel and also share with my network.
That'll be
Is it
fine.
excellent?
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
We are ready to go.
Yeah. When you say start, we'll start. Okay.
Yep.
All right, I'll count you in here. Here we go, guys. Segment 1, starting in 4, 3, 2.
Welcome to Sustainable Success. Hope everyone is having a great week. Here we are into the third week of January. Hope everyone's 2023 is off to a fantastic start. Again, for any of you organizations or individuals that are still fine-tuning your goals and objectives and milestones for this year going forward and require a second set of eyes or someone strategically to look at it from a different perspective, feel free to reach out to us here at Sustainable Success through our Sustainable Success Coaching and Consulting. One of our advisors would be happy to look at where you're at and where you desire to go to provide a different perspective and some insights that could help you achieve everything that you're looking to do in 2023. Feel free to reach out to us at chris@christophersalem.com. Today's show is being brought to you today by Alumni Direct. Alumni Direct is a new social media community platform dedicated to bringing alumni together from all different generational types, an opportunity to rekindle old relationships or perhaps meet new people for the first time. This is a membership program, meaning that it takes all the noise out of social media, so you get to come in at any time to generate genuine and authentic relationships with people that you've known in the past and perhaps meeting for the first time. Also, it has a new athletes corner for those professional athletes that are transitioning into everyday life. This is an opportunity for you to meet other athletes that are retiring from their sport, going into everyday life to take on a new role in their careers. And this is an opportunity to build solid relationships with those to make this transition seamless for you. Feel free to check them out at alumnidirect.com. That's alumnidirect.com. Well, we got a fantastic show for you today. We're going to be talking about See the Light in You. And this is a title from the most recent book, an award-winning book by that on Amazon by Professor M.S. Rayo, Dr. Ph.D. And before I introduce Professor M.S. Rayo, I'm going to give you a little background about him. He is the father of soft leadership and the founder of the MSR Leadership Consultants in India. He is an international leadership guru with over 40 years of experience and the author of over 50 books, including the award-winning See the Light in You. And you're going to find out a little bit more how to get your hands on that book on Amazon here later in the show. He's also a C-suite advisor and a global keynote speaker. He brings a strategic eye and long-range vision given his multifaceted professional experience, including military, teaching, training, research, consultancy, and philosophy. He is passionate about serving and making a difference in the lives of others. He's a regular contributor to Entrepreneur Magazine. He trains a new generation of leaders through leadership education and publications, and his vision is to build 1 million students as global leaders by 2030. And you'll find out more information about that. I could keep going on and on and on and on because there's so many other great things that Professor M.S. Rayo has done, but I'll let him share with that here later in the show. And without further ado, we welcome Professor M.S. Rayo to the show. How are you doing today?
Thank you for inviting me. First of all, let me share my challenge. I was blessed to be alive of the brain stroke in the year 2021. And I survived because of my positive psychology, because of the power of subconscious mind, and because of the healthy habits that I acquired from Indian Air Force. And I was born in a toxic family and grew up with a toxic environment. I have mental challenges, physical challenges, and financial challenges. And I have lots of challenges. I am 59 years old with financial challenges. But despite all the challenges, I rose like a phoenix after brain stroke.
Wow, it's amazing. One thing we love about this show, Professor Rayo, is that, sustainable success is all about embracing challenges. And you mentioned, in your own life, you've had several challenges from, growing up in a toxic environment. I can relate to that. And then, then dealing with the brain stroke and so on. And talk a little bit about, if you can, when you talk about see the light in you, I mean, when I hear that statement, see the light in you, and I know that's the name of your book, it's like all the answers, whether, and are inside of you. You have to go within in order to bring out the fruits of what is inside to manifest in the outside. Can you talk a little bit about your journey, if you don't mind sharing with us about your journey? Because I really think that would resonate very well with the listeners and really seeing the light in them.
Okay, I would like to share my life journey. Then we'll talk about a book, the title "See the Light in You." So let me share with you my challenges. I was born in a toxic family and grew up in a toxic environment, and I was a college dropout. I was brought up in a negative environment, and fortunately, I joined Indian Air Force, that is Indian military, when I was 18 years old. I was a college dropout. I worked very hard to come up to this level, and I was born in a very poor family, and I worked in a tea stall, and lots of challenges I encountered. And the life in military is very challenging and very tough. And at the age of 18, I joined Air Force, and I was lucky that I came out of my toxic family and joined Indian Air Force. And I grew as a leader, and I developed a positive attitude. And I'm always grateful to Indian Air Force for this opportunity to serve my country and also to grow as a healthy citizen and also as a leader. So after I joined Indian Air Force, by discontinuing my graduation, I acquired a couple of qualifications. I acquired 7 qualifications through private education. They include DME, BSc, MA, MBA, PGDCLL, PGDBM. Then I earned my PhD in the soft skills there 2011. So you can understand that I acquired all these qualifications through private education. People think that I acquired qualifications from Oxford or Kellogg's or various other universities, but the reality is that I acquired all these qualifications through private education, through distance education, so through self-learning. So I encountered lots of challenges and betrayal by my own family members. And I served in the Indian Air Force for around 12 years. Then I entered into business. For 13 years, I was into business. My father-in-law didn't support. On the other hand, my own father-in-law has betrayed. So lots of challenges, family-wise. Then I got into teaching field, and I started pursuing my PhD in the year 2007 and 2011, and my PhD in soft skills. After I got into the teaching field, I earned my PhD. Then I became an author. Then I have written more than 50 books. I have written 60 books. I have written, but 50 have been published. This is the journey of my life, and I was a soldier. Then I was an entrepreneur. Then I become an educator. Now I have become an author. I don't know where I'll go to the next level. This is the journey so far. I have come up to this level, and the challenges I encountered in my life, very unique challenges, because I don't have two-wheeler, I don't have four-wheeler, I am not blessed with regular education. I am dyslexic with the ADHD, added to that, the brain stroke has further ruined my health 1.5 year back. It's close to 2 years. So lots of challenges I encountered, but despite all the challenges, I have not given up because I have some inner power that helped me, that drove me up to this level. So I have the power of subconscious mind. I am always positive. So I'm going in the direction, so that I can add value and make a difference in the lives of others. And I started Vision 2030, 1 million global leaders. And so far, I have trained more than 50,000 students as global leaders. Physically, I have trained. But after COVID, things have changed. And I started sharing my knowledge online. I have 4 blogs and 2 YouTube channels. I'm very strong on social media, especially on LinkedIn. This is my story so far. Uh, Despite all the challenges, I'm still optimistic that I want to do something for the world. I want to add value and make a difference in the lives of others, despite having all challenges. But still, I'm very much passionate about adding value and making a difference in the lives of others. Now, I would like to talk about my book. This is the book. I have other 50 books. This is the book. Uh, this is one of the uh, best books in my lifetime. Uh, the Nobel laureate, His Holiness Dalai Lama, has written a foreword for this book titled "See the Light in You."
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the book. Is very close to me. I have written so many books. I have written books on soft leadership. So this is a book on soft leadership, and this book, Philip Kotler has written a foreword. So likewise, I have a couple of books. I'll show. This is a book, Strategies to Build Women Leaders. This book I have dedicated to Rosia Parks, Maya Angelou, and Oprah Winfrey. And I
Yeah,
have
I can see
received
that. Yeah,
foreword.
powerful.
I have received foreword for this book from former Vice President of India. So I'm blessed to have great connections, but I don't have money. So I'm not after money. I'm after I'm after adding value to the world. This is one more book, Vision 2030, 1 million global leaders. This book I have dedicated to the former President of India, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, and Dr. Kiran Bedi, the first woman IPS officer from India, has written a foreword for this book. So this is the journey. So 50 books I have published, and there are so many books, but these 4 books I am having out of all the books. The book, The Seed Life, is the one which is very close to my heart because that His Holiness Dalai Lama has written a foreword for this. And how I started this journey, that also I would like to share with you. Some 4 years back, I came. I came to know the challenges the students were facing in the educational institutions. Some of the students were committing suicides. Then I felt very bad. Then I thought a trigger that flashed on my mind. Then I started writing a book on suicides. Then I also added some areas like divorces. Then again, I added various things like mindfulness, wellness. So like this, all the chapters I have written, and I have prepared the manuscript. Then whenever I write any book, I I approach the correct person who can write forward for this book. Then I thought His Holiness Dalai Lama is the correct person who can write a forward for this book. Then I requested. Then he appreciated the manuscript, and then he has written a foreword for my book titled "See the Light." This is how the journey with the Nobel laureate His Holiness Dalai Lama. And this is my journey with my students and my experience. All those things are there in this book.
Got it. Well, this is powerful. And so you've written so many books, and which I think is fantastic, Professor Rayo. So I would like to dive into in the second segment a little bit more into see the light in you. We love to get some more insight into that. Now we only got a few minutes left to the break. What have you, like, based on your challenges that you've gone through, what would you say has been the blessing in all of these challenges that you've gone through?
See, I'm very optimistic by nature, and people get depressed when they encounter challenges. Especially my situation was very complicated because the COVID lockdown was there. This is the second lockdown in India, and I survived the first lockdown, and during the second lockdown in India, then my wife and I had this COVID. Then I had long COVID. Then my wife survived, whereas I collapsed uh, during the second wave of coronavirus in the year of 2021. Then my right portion of the body was totally paralyzed, and my head was twisted, and right portion of the body was totally paralyzed. I was not able to walk. I was on the ICU, intensive care in India, and lots of challenges were there. Ambulances were not available at that time. So many challenges at that time during the COVID situation in India. So very challenging. So doctors thought that I won't survive it. Some of the people, they died because of COVID. But I survived because of the power of subconscious mind. I have the power of subconscious mind. The moment I collapsed, then I was not able to. I was within my mind. I was thinking, yes, I'm all right. I'm all right. I'm well. I'm healthy. I'm healthy. Like that, I was telling. I'm telling to myself. I was telling to myself. So that that gave me some boost because when I was on the bed, so that helped me. Then for a few weeks, I was on the bed. Then I gradually came out. Then I did some physiotherapy exercises for some time. Then I started doing. I started going for a walk.
Yep.
I was not able to walk for a few months. Then I started walking. Now I'm able to walk, but my right hand is still problematic. It's a numb.
Oh, wow.
My right
So
hand.
still dealing with the challenges. Let's talk a little bit about, because we have to go to break. We got to go to break here. But I mean,
Okay.
all the things that you've been through and all the challenges, and like you said, you're so optimistic, and the resilience that you put out there is so inspiring for people, and especially those listening live right now and those that'll be listening here later. And I know you got a lot to share when we come back. When we come back after the break, we're going to dive a little bit more into how people can begin to see the light inside of them based upon you sharing your powerful story with us. We got to go to break, everybody. When we come right back, we got more from See the Light in You with Professor M.S. Rayo, and we'll be right back after the break.
Okay, good. All clear.
All right. Great. So now that's the first segment, Dr. Rayo. Now in the second segment, do you want to go into a little bit more for the listeners and how they can see, like, what would be some things you could share with people, how to see things inside of them to bring out the good in the challenges that they face?
See, whenever people have challenges, they get depressed. That's the nature of the people. I have read.
We want to get into that. We're going to get into that. I just want to make sure. Is that okay with you? We could talk about that. We're going to start recording again. I just want to. What I want to make sure is that we talk about something that's comfortable for you. Do you want to talk about how people can see the good in the challenge, or do you want to talk about something else?
We'll talk about this one. We will talk about the good.
Okay, good. Okay. All right. All right, Matt, we can get started when you're ready, Matt.
Okay. All right. I'll count you in here. Segment 2, starting in 4, 3, 2.
Welcome back to Sustainable Success. If you're just joining us, we're talking about See the Light in You. We're here with Professor M.S. Rayo, Ph.D. He had talked about his different challenges that he has had throughout his life and all the obstacles, but because of his optimistic nature, how he was able to rise above and publish many books and consult with many different leaders and around the world in regards to how we can embrace challenges and really come out ahead and really see the good in the things that we go through. So, Professor Rayo, you in your book, See the Light in You, you talked about in the first segment a lot of things about your challenges. And a lot of times challenges are very difficult to go through. And a lot of times people tend to resist them or avoid them and try to like mask, what they're going through instead of embracing them and seeing the good in the difficult situations that they're facing. What can you share about why it's, what are some of the things that we could take away that are good from the difficult challenges that we go through?
Thank you for asking this wonderful question. So let me share with you apart from my personal life, I admire Stephen Hawking. He had health issues and still, despite having health issues, despite having physical disability, he started adding value, and he wanted to inspire the world. He emphasized humanity. So these are the things I learned from Stephen Hawking, despite having a disability. So I would like to connect Stephen Hawking's story with my personal life. So in my life, we have to be very positive. Usually, people get depressed when they have challenges. They get upset. But in my case, I was not upset because I was born in a poor family. I had so many challenges. I led a very challenging life, even in the Indian Air Force. At the age of 18, I joined Indian Air Force. And the life in the military, very tough, very tough. Morning 4 o'clock, we would get up, and night 10 o'clock, we would sleep. So that was the kind of military life we led it. So that made me very tough. That's one thing. And because of the betrayals by some of my siblings and my relatives, that made me very strong. So I unlocked the inner power. So whenever we have some challenges, we'll explore some creative solutions. So I started exploring creatively, and I started taking good things, and I discovered my inner powers more after the COVID, especially after the brain stroke. So what the takeaway from this entry is, you have to be very optimistic in your life, despite challenges, despite physical disabilities like Stephen Hawking, or despite physical disabilities I am also having currently, because I can't type with my right hand. It's close to 2 years I can't type. My right hand is numb. There is no sense to my right hand. But still, I'm very optimistic that I'll, I'll overcome the challenges, and I'll be able to type, and I'll be able to write. And I want to write a book, either my autobiography or a memoir, to inspire the world. The kind of challenges I underwent, and I want to inspire the world that you should never ever give up. Everything is possible in this world. Life is great. So you have to be very optimistic, and learn from failures, and unlock your inner powers to become a good leader, and to become a resilient leader. So this is based on my experience, and also I implore the listeners also take away from me, and to get inspired from my challenges in my life: physical challenges, mental challenges, physical and financial challenges. So this is what I would like to share with the world.
Wow, when I always say that when you think about, your challenges, a lot of times we just think that nobody understands what we're going through. And the thing is, well, we all have challenges. Sometimes some people have more than others, but we always have to be grateful for what life isn't always easy. And obviously you stated that in the first segment of the show that you had a lot of setbacks in your life, the environment you grew up in, and you had a brain stroke, and all these things that could limit you and hold you down, but you chose to rise above and maximize what you can with that situation, what you were able to do, and all the good things that you were able to bring about in your books, and all the insights that you've shared with a lot of different people to help them in their journeys. What advice would you give? What advice would you give listeners here that are struggling right now in their life or their business, and they're just hearing this message for the first time, Professor Rayo? What would be the first thing that you would recommend to them?
No, I only implore anyone. So based on my challenges, I am dyslexic. I have ADHD. I have mental challenges. Born in a toxic family, and I was not blessed with regular education because I was a college dropout, and I started learning of my own. And I'm 59 years old with financial challenges. I don't have two-wheeler. I don't have four-wheeler. Lots of challenges, but despite all the challenges, I bounced back. I rose like a phoenix. So what I would tell everyone is that you have to be very positive in your life, and have the attitude of gratitude. It's the point I would like to share with the world. Be grateful to God, whether if you believe in God in that way or if you don't believe, that's a different thing. But have the attitude of gratitude. Be grateful and add value whatever is possible. If any problems come, okay, uh, uh, this too shall pass. You have to think in that way. So you have to overcome the challenges. You have to take things in your stride, and you have to keep moving in the right direction. As a human being, what you have to think is you have to add value and make a difference in the lives of others. This is the message I would like to share everyone, because we all need money to survive. Yeah, it's part of the life, because without money we can't survive. So we need money. So apart from money, we should also think of the world, society, and planet. All these things we have to look at it, and we have to add value to build a better world, to check the climate change, and to make the planet to be beautiful. So we have to work in that direction, so that we can make a difference in the lives of others. This is what I would like to share with everyone.
Sorry about that. So yeah, that was fantastic. I think everybody listening here, that you're not alone. And when you can now hear stories like Professor Rayo's, like when you look at all he's done, despite these setbacks and challenges and anything that could possibly maybe limit us in some way, but then we can maximize other things that don't hold us back. What would be some other things that you could share with the listening audience and those listening later, Professor Rayo, as other things that people can now adopt in this process to take to take what they've learned from their challenges to do something positive for themselves and then make a difference in the world that they serve?
I would like to share with you a simple message of whenever I write a book, I send a very strong message. The message from this book is health first, education second, and wealth third. Because we need to take care of health, right? Health first, education second, and wealth third. We all need wealth, but more than the wealth, what you need is health. So every book is unique. In every book, I share a message that you have to take care of your health, because we need to focus on mental wellness global, because people are having lots of challenges. Uh, uh, Especially after COVID, things have changed because people started realizing how fragile their life is. I took it for granted. After the brain stroke, I realized that life is very fragile. After COVID, I have come to know, and from my personal life also, I came to that life has become very fragile. So we have to do whatever is possible and express an attitude of gratitude. And I would like to share some of the things, like you eliminate your
Yeah, please do. Please
e-
share.
yeah, please eliminate ego, emphasize empathy. Empathy is required. Then express gratitude and emphasize humanity. So these are the four pillars of my message. So these things I would like to share with the audience. And now coming to this book, there are some areas I have talked about from this book, like taming the monkey mind, because human mind, keeps wandering here and there. So we need to tame the monkey mind. That's one thing. And we have to focus on wellness. We need to focus on mindfulness. So these are all the things I have mentioned in this book, apart from sharing about my challenges from the book, some of them.
Wow, great. Thank you for sharing that. And, I always say, like I said, I mean, I know when I went through my transformation now 24 years ago, I grew up also in a codependent in a home, had a lot of setbacks and challenges, dealt with a lot of emotional things that I had overcome. I have ADHD, so I can relate 100%. But I was able to do certain things that have now been able for me to manage those symptoms of ADHD, where people that know me now would say, you don't have ADHD. You're so on top of things. But there were certain things that I learned to do. So I was able to not see it as a limitation, but it's something that I could offset the negatives to maximize the positives in there. Because there's always a positive and a negative in any negative situation.
Yeah, yeah.
Can you shed more insight for you? What were some of the positives that you pulled away from the brain stroke, from dyslexia, from ADD, from growing up poor, that type of thing?
Yeah, these are the challenges I have mentioned. The challenges I had were, as you said, I came to know now that you too had this, ADHD. I too have ADHD and I'm dyslexic. I can't understand certain things because of dyslexic mindset. But these are the limitations. We should always look at the door that is opened. We should not look at the door that is closed. We should look at the rising sun, not the setting the sun. So we have to be very positive. Life is not a cakewalk. Okay, life is full of ups and downs. So you should take it in a positive direction, so that you lead your life peacefully and happily. So let me share with you about mindfulness. So is the mindfulness is one of the chapters
Yeah, we'd love to hear about mindfulness. Now, we have a few minutes to the break, but if you could get us going, and then when we come back after the break, I'd love you to go more into depth with that.
Okay, this mindfulness is all about you need to you should learn to live in the present without thinking too much about the future, without thinking excessively about the unpleasant past. Research shows that people waste 30% of their precious time by thinking about the unpleasant past. But let bygones be bygones. You forget them, and we don't know what happens in the future. Okay, so what you have to do is you should learn to live in the present. Okay, this is the best way of leading your life. But at the same time, you have to be very optimistic about the future. Again, you may find some contradiction in my statements, but it's fact that you have to be very optimistic about the future. But you should not worry excessively about the future. If you worry too much about the future, then you will have some health issues. And if you think too much about the unpleasant past, that will never come back. Let bygones be bygones. So learn to live in the present so that you can lead your life peacefully. And also the next chapter I will talk about happiness lies within, not outside. People search for stones by leaving gems at home. Where are gems? Why should we search for stones elsewhere? So happiness lies within us, not somewhere else. So be happy in life. Okay.
Wow, great. So I love what you shared there. And I know we're coming up to the break coming up here slowly. What would be some, from what you shared here with the audience today, what would be kind of like a summary or an impact statement that you can leave to really inspire the listeners to really, again, take hold of their challenges and, turn lemons into lemonade, so to speak, turn something. We got about less than a minute to the break. If you could just share that, something just that really inspires them in an impact statement.
So we need to emphasize about mindfulness, not only for the individuals, even for organizations. This is one more trigger that has flashed on my mind. So because when you look at some companies like Google, Apple, and various other global organizations, so what they are doing, they are focusing on mindfulness, and it's very much required. When you emphasize on mindfulness, what happens? The employees are happy. That's one thing, and you can overcome these employee challenges, and you'll be able to lead your life happily, and also you will be enhance productivity among the employees. So this is the area we need to think about, and this is the cause
Nice.
for concern, not only for individuals, even for global organizations.
Well, this is powerful. Again, this is great information that Professor Rayo is sharing. See the light in you. We all have struggles, but we can see the blessings disguised in them. We don't have to let them define what we are for the rest of our lives. We can rise above and be an inspiration to create more impact in our lives and including others through our example and resourcefulness. We got more to come here with Professor M.S. Rayo. See the light in you. We got more to come here right after the break.
Okay, good. We're all clear.
All right. So now we got the last segment, Doctor, and I want to leave about maybe a minute and a half at the towards the end to let people know where to find you in terms of getting your book and how to reach out to you and so forth.
I have authored more than 50 books, and
we're gonna give you an opportunity at the end for let people know how to get in contact with you, so you can let them know how to reach out to you.
Okay, now I will emphasize on we need to convert threats into opportunities. That's one thing we need to emphasize.
Okay, well, we can do that in the next segment. You want to talk about the opportunities?
Yeah,
Okay.
opportunities. Yeah.
Let's do that. We can discuss that coming into the last segment here. All right, so we got 16 minutes, Matt.
Well, we went a little long on that one, so we have 15.
All right, so we got 15. We're going to do 15. Okay, so we're all set. Ready to go?
All right. Yep.
Okay,
I'll count you in here. Segment 3 in 4, 3, 2.
Welcome back to Sustainable Success. We're talking about See the Light in You. Today's show is being sponsored by Alumni Direct, a new social media community platform for alumni to rekindle old relationships with people they've went to school in the past and perhaps meet new people for the first time. Again, this is a new social media community platform that is membership-based to take all the noise out of social media, to make it easier for you to come in and out to really generate authentic and genuine relationships with others. It's also great for you athletes out there that are transitioning from professional sport into everyday life. Check them out at the new Athletes Corner on Alumni Direct at alumnidirect.com. And if you're just joining us again, you can listen to this show in its entirety here later today here at the Voice America Influencers channel. Also at Apple Podcasts, we encourage you to follow us there, and our Facebook page, Sustainable Success 2017. Professor Ray, you've shared so much great insight into challenges, how to overcome them, like we talked about, from your latest book, See the Light in You. Talk about, what are some of the opportunities that can come from this? Discuss, I know you mentioned some things earlier in the first segment, but if you can expand on what those opportunities could be for those that are listening and what they may be going through.
I would like to share certain things. Convert threats into opportunities. That's one thing. And avoid pessimism and be optimistic, and convert brickbats into bouquets. So this is we in this segment. I would like to emphasize on uh, uh, converting challenges into opportunities. That means, so far I have talked about the challenges. Now I'm looking at the positive side of it, how to overcome the challenges. When we talk about opportunities, so we have to very much positive. We must express our gratitude, and we must add value. And we need to, instead of thinking about what went wrong, we should always look at how things can be made better for now and in the future. I had challenges. That was a different story. Now my view and my perception about life is that I have to be very optimistic and what I have to do, so that how can I make a difference in the lives of others, and how can I make the world a better. So these are all the things I'm emphasizing in this third segment. If you have any questions, you can ask related to this.
Yeah, I would just say that, opportunities, I mean, I always say that, opportunities are always around us. We just have to be conscious and aware. You talked about mindfulness, and mindfulness is the ability to, through clarity, to be focused, because a lot of times we're oblivious to those opportunities. And then we also have to create our luck, or create, maybe, or do certain things that could set us up to create opportunities. So sometimes those challenges can actually be a good thing that could set us up to create an opportunity that can then help not only somebody else or people, but then it also helps us, because maybe it has something to do with our business, or maybe a good cause that we're representing, and so on. So can you expand upon how, like, maybe from your personal experience, how you were able to create an opportunity, create something, create your luck. And I guess what I'm trying to say is create your luck so an opportunity would present itself to do something that was good for you and perhaps other people.
Good. It's a wonderful question. I think you are provoking my mind. It's nice that you are challenging me, so that you are getting the best from my subconscious mind. You are challenging me, so I'm very happy and I'm grateful to you. So let me share with you. So I don't believe in luck. I believe in pluck. Pluck. That means we have to be very positive, and we should have that grit and tenacity, all those things. And now when I look at the opportunities, for close to 2 years after the brain stroke, it's close to 2 years. Okay, I've come out of this brain stroke. So I was not able to write, and I will not I was not able to write. I was not able to speak, and I had some problems with short-term memory. All those things after the brain stroke, because it adversely affected my brain. Then what I did at that time, I utilized my time. Rather, I would like to say in this manner that since I was not able to write, so I utilized my time by watching the videos, because by watching videos I was absorbing everything because I was not able to write. So I converted this threat into an opportunity because I was earlier, actually I was only a writer. I am basically creative writer, but I can't write because of the health issues. So I utilized this threat into an opportunity. Then I started watching YouTube channels. I was listening, absorbing the things. Now, after the COVID, after the brain stroke, I started requesting more and more people to interview me. Why? Because I can't write. That is the challenge. So then I requested people. Now, in your case, I requested you to interview me. So I thought, let me utilize my time in that way that you will interview me so that I keep on adding value and making a difference until I get into the track. So I enjoy being interviewed by other people. Once I get back to the track, then what I will do, then again, once my hand becomes all right, once I can type, then I will keep writing creatively. So we need to convert a threat into an opportunity. So although it's a disability, it was a temporary disability for me after the brain stroke, but I converted that threat into opportunity. For example, if you look at me, after 2 hours, I have one more interview, right? So I'm giving more and more interviews because I can't write. So I'm speaking to the people. So this is how I converted. I utilized my time creatively. That's one thing. I converted threats into opportunities. So like that, we need to we have to look at the things in a positive perspective. So we should always look at the rising sun, not the setting sun. So everything happens for a reason. So, okay, I was at the bed, I had a brainstorm. Okay, but I I unlocked my inner power. I unlocked my creative powers, and I started channelizing my energies in a productive way and a creative way. So this is how I led my life.
Wow. So powerful again, and everything that you've done. And I just think it's just so much information that you've shared here to really help people in this particular area, because everyone has different challenges, whether if it's personal, whether if it's in their business, a combination of both. Nonetheless, challenges are, going to be challenges. And, we can't, we can say that, hey, I've been in your shoes. Well, yeah, we maybe gone through some similar, but maybe we can't just say it's necessarily the same what that person's feeling. But knowing that what you shared today, we can all rise above that and find the good in everything we've gone through. Anything else that you would like to share in the time that we have, Professor Rayo, and especially if it's any, it could be from any of your books or See the Light in You, any things that we did not discuss that you would like to, point out to the listeners?
Okay, we focus mainly on the book titled "See the Light in You." This is the book we focused, and this is my strength. Okay. Apart from that, I have other 50 books, as I said. Some of the books I talked about. This book briefly talks about Vision 2030, 1 million global leaders. This is the book because I am passionate about education and learning. This is one thing. And I would like to talk about this gender and diversity. This is the area. I keep writing books in different areas and different domains. This book on gender and diversity, uh, this book I have dedicated to Rosa Parks, Maya Angelou, and Oprah Winfrey. So the former Vice President of India has written a foreword for this book. So I have got good connections, and I'm grateful to all these great people who have connections and adding value and making a difference. Now I will talk briefly about one of the books. This is Soft Leadership. Uh, this is the book on soft leadership. Uh, I have written around 10 books on soft leadership and soft skills. So I will talk briefly about soft skills because we can make use of our time in a constructive way and a creative way. So I would slightly talk about soft skills and soft leadership. And I had my PhD in soft skills in the year 2011. Then I blended soft skills with leadership because I'm passionate about leadership. So then I started a new leadership perspective, that is soft leadership. And why I started this new leadership perspective is that uh, more than a decade ago, I was conducting MDP programs, and I was teaching for EMBA students and MBA students in various educational institutions and in the various training programs. Then the audiences felt that there was a need for some a new leadership perspective because there were so many leadership styles like autocratic leadership, democratic leadership, servant leadership. Like that, there are plenty of leadership styles. Then the audiences have asked, "Sir, why don't you explore some new leadership style?" Then I started exploring the book on soft leadership, and this book is the one, the latest
Yeah.
one. This is the book, and the uh, Philip Kotler, the father of modern marketing, has written a foreword this book. So this soft leadership helps achieve organizational excellence and effectiveness, and the soft leadership helps achieve peace and prosperity globally. The soft leadership is required for all generations, whether they are baby boomers or Generation X, Generation Y, or Generation Z. But this soft leadership can be used for all generations, especially for millennials and centennials, because young people, especially the current generation, that is centennials, who are entering into this workforce. So they are looking for a new leadership style, and this soft leadership helps achieve in that way.
Yeah.
So hopefully, this leadership perspective can be utilized for even generation Z.
Yeah. So I love what you shared here today, Professor Rayo. I know we're getting towards the end of the show, and I would love people to get to know you, to reach out, get to connect with you. I know you're on LinkedIn. You spend a lot of time there. What would be some other ways that people can get in contact with you, and then also, learn about your books? If you could share in the next minute or so.
Uh, I'm available on online. I have published 50 books. My books are available online, especially on Amazon. You can purchase copies online. And also, I'm available on social media. I have 2 YouTube channels, and I keep sharing videos daily. Consistently, I started doing. Then I have 4 blogs uh, for different audiences. I have 4 blogs, 2 YouTube channels, and I'm strong in various other social media platforms, especially on LinkedIn, because LinkedIn is a professional network that's meant for professionals, and I'm connected with great people like Marshall Goldsmith and Philip Kotler, Daniel Goldman. All those people are in my connections. So I'm blessed to have great connections. So I'm available online, and my books are available both online and offline. This is how I can be
Awesome.
reached out, and you can find me if you Google my name as Professor M. S. Rao, M. S. R. A. O. If you Google my name,
Yep.
Professor M. S.
Yep.
Rao, you can find out my name. Everything is available. How many
Yep.
articles were published? How many research papers were published? All those things. I have published so many research papers on Emerald and various journals. So I'm available everywhere. Only thing is you have to know my name as Professor M.S. Rao. Just Google it, you will find out
Absolutely. So,
everything. All connections are available.
well, Professor M.S. Rayo, thank you so much for being with us here today. You know, you're coming from India to be with us, to share with us your insights. Again, we highly encourage everybody to reach out to Dr. Professor M.S. Rayo on LinkedIn. Also go to Amazon. Again, get your Audible version, the book itself. You will not regret it. Great information. Again, thank you so much. And listeners, we want to thank you each and every week joining us here at Sustainable Success. We are so honored again that the show is where it is today because of you. And we promise to bring in subject matter experts each and every week to present their experiences and insights to help elevate you and your business to the next level. Till then, everybody, have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you next Thursday.
Thank you. With gratitude.
All right. Good job, guys. We're all clear.
All right. Great. All right, Dr. Ray, we are set. So what I sent to you the marketing promo to your email this morning, my time. So it should be in your email to promote it. And now the show will be edited, and then it's going to air next Thursday at 12 to 1 East Coast time. So that might be like later in the evening, your time, India.
Can you send me the video to me?
I'm going to send the video to you right after I'm done here. Matter of fact, let me take it off video right now.